Okay, get ready, because this tiny little beetle is basically a walking chemistry lab that shoots boiling hot toxic explosions out of its butt. Yes, you heard that correctly. Out of its butt. Welcome back, everyone, and today we are talking about one of the most unbelievable animals on the entire planet. Not a shark, not a lion, not some massive venomous snake. Nope. We are talking about a bug that is smaller than your pinky fingernail, and it has figured out how to do something that scientists still cannot fully explain. This is the Bombardier Beetle, and it breaks every single rule. Let us start at the beginning. Most bugs have boring defenses. They hide, they run, they blend into a leaf. Some of them play dead. Super boring. The Bombardier Beetle looked at all of those options and said, absolutely not. I am going to build a tiny chemical weapon inside my own body, aim it with military precision, and fire it at anything that messes with me. And that weapon, it explodes at over 200 degrees Fahrenheit. That is literally the temperature of boiling water, coming out of a bug that you could accidentally step on without even noticing. How does it do this? Okay, hold on, because this is wild. Inside the Bombardier Beetle, there are two separate chambers. Think of them like two secret compartments. In one compartment, the beetle stores a chemical called hydroquinone. In the other compartment, it stores hydrogen peroxide. Those two things, completely harmless on their own, but the second they mix together in the presence of special enzymes inside the beetle, they create an explosive chemical reaction that produces heat, gas, and a toxic spray that blasts out of a tiny rotating nozzle at the tip of the beetle's abdomen. And here's the part that makes scientists absolutely lose their minds. The beetle can aim that nozzle like a turret. It can rotate the spray almost all the way around its body, hitting targets in almost any direction. Front, back, sides, it does not matter where you are coming from. That beetle has got an angle on you. But wait, it gets even better. Here is surprising fact number one. The Bombardier Beetle does not just fire one continuous stream, it fires in rapid bursts, up to 500 pulses per second. 500. That is not a spray, that is a machine gun made of boiling chemicals. Scientists figured this out by using ultra-high-speed cameras, and what they found shocked everyone. Each tiny pulse heats up and releases pressure before the next one fires. It is a perfectly timed series of micro-explosions, all happening automatically, inside a bug that you could fit on a dime. Now here is something that will make your stomach flip. Surprising fact number two. Frogs eat beetles all the time. It is just a frog thing. But the Bombardier Beetle has one of the most horrifying tricks in the animal kingdom for dealing with that exact situation. A frog swallows the beetle whole. Game over, right? Nope. The beetle fires its chemical cannon from inside the frog's stomach. The frog, shocked and in serious discomfort, vomits the beetle back up. The beetle crawls out alive, completely fine, just a little gross. There is a video of this. Scientists watched a beetle survive being swallowed, spend up to 107 minutes inside a frog, and then get spit back out walking around like nothing happened. 107 minutes? Most animals would just be digested. Not the Bombardier Beetle. It fights its way out from the inside. Let us talk about what makes this beetle even more impressive. Surprising fact number three, the Bombardier Beetle has no interest in starting trouble. It is not aggressive. It does not go looking for fights. It mostly eats other bugs, hangs out near streams and ponds, and minds its own business. The chemical cannon is purely for defense. Think about that. This beetle has the most powerful defensive weapon of any insect on Earth, and it only uses it as a last resort. It is the most patient little chemistry professor you have ever met. Tiny, calm, devastating if you push it, and it almost never runs out of ammunition either. The chemicals it uses regenerate over time, so it can reload and fire again. It does not even have to do anything to make that happen. Its body just does it automatically. That is insane. Imagine if you had a defense system that just refilled itself while you slept. That is the Bombardier Beetle's whole life. Now, here is the part of the story where things get really interesting. There are over 500 species of Bombardier Beetle. They live on every continent except Antarctica. That means this weapon evolved separately in multiple places across the world. Scientists call that convergent evolution. Different animals in totally different places coming up with the same incredible solution. That tells you something. The Bombardier Beetle's chemistry bomb is so effective that nature basically invented it more than once because it works so well. That is like two different chefs in two different countries accidentally inventing the exact same recipe and both recipes being absolutely perfect. Now, here is surprising fact number 4. And this one blew my mind when I found out. The Bombardier Beetle has inspired real human technology. Engineers and scientists have studied exactly how the beetle creates those rapid-fire micro-explosions, and they have used that knowledge to design better fuel injection systems for engines, better spray nozzles, even ideas for new rocket propulsion designs. A tiny beetle that you might find crawling around in your backyard garden has contributed to actual aerospace engineering. That is not a joke, that is a real thing. A bug you could flick with your finger has helped us think about building better rockets. Here is surprising fact number 5. Ants are one of the Bombardier Beetle's biggest threats. Ants work in teams, they are aggressive, and they do not give up easily. But the Bombardier Beetle has a specific technique for dealing with ant attacks. When surrounded by a group of ants, it does not just spray randomly. It positions itself and targets individual ants with precise short bursts. Scientists have watched beetles pick off attacking ants one at a time with controlled shots. It is not panic spraying. It is tactical. This beetle is genuinely strategic. It reads the situation and responds with precision. A bug with tactics. Think about that. So let us put this all together. What are we actually looking at here? We have got a beetle small enough to hide under a coin. It carries 2 separate chemicals in its body. Those chemicals combine to create a boiling hot toxic explosion. It fires that explosion in machine gun bursts. It can aim in almost any direction. It can survive being eaten alive and fight its way out. It refills its own ammunition. It has inspired rocket scientists. And it does all of this while being one of the most chill, non-aggressive little creatures in the insect world. The Bombardier Beetle is not trying to be impressive. It is not putting on a show. It just exists, minding its business, and it happens to be one of the most perfectly engineered defense systems in the history of life on Earth. You know, we spend a lot of time being amazed by big animals, the ones with claws and fangs and size on their side. But the Bombardier Beetle is a reminder that sometimes the most extraordinary things come in the smallest packages. Sometimes the universe hides its most genius inventions in the places you would never think to look. Right there under a rock by a pond somewhere, sitting quietly, ready. Do not mess with it though, because it will absolutely shoot boiling chemicals at you and it will not miss. And there is genuinely nothing you can do about it. The Bombardier Beetle has been perfecting this system for hundreds of millions of years, long before humans existed, long before any of us were here to be amazed by it. It figured this out on its own. And honestly, respect. So here's your question for today, and I want to see your answers in the comments. The Bombardier Beetle basically invented a chemical weapon defense system all by itself through evolution. If you could borrow any single animal defense ability for yourself, just one, what would you pick? Would you want the Bombardier Beetle's boiling chemical cannon, the electric eel's shocking power? Something else entirely? Drop it below. I read every single one. See you in the